So, joining me in this episode of the Neil Wilkins podcast, I'm absolutely delighted and I have to say, a little bit excited to welcome Naveen Krishnan. Now, Naveen is an AI architect at Microsoft, and we're going to go deep into the possibilities both of Microsoft products, of latest technologies, of the emerging stuff that is coming out of the giant that is Microsoft, as well as more broad things like AI agents and a whole host of other things as well. So, welcome to the show, Naveen.
Hello, Neil. Glad to meet you and your audience. So, yeah, let's go ahead and discuss more about AI.
Yeah, it's just such an exciting time to be in business, to be a marketer, to be alive, I guess, as we're seeing, as we have done over the last couple of years, all of this kind of, well, let's just keep calling it AI, but these emerging technologies coming into mainstream, both in our everyday lives as well as in business. I mean, this must be an incredibly exciting time, both for Microsoft, but also for you personally.
Yeah, definitely, yes. So, what I would say is it's been 16 years since I'm into this tech world, and I started my career with .NET and other things like old Microsoft products. And slowly it got evolved, and I have never seen this kind of evolvement in any technologies, be it internet or be it anything, right? So this is the first time the cloud, even the cloud, it took plenty of years, like 3-4 years to get this stage. But the way how I see AI, it's because the reason is it's widely adopted by each and every mankind. So that's maybe the reason why it's getting a lot of tractions. And yeah, so many things happening. Yeah, I wake up every day seeing something new happening in AI, so which is totally amazing and incredible. Yeah.
And in that way, it's kind of really exciting and good. And if anybody loves change, I mean, a recent podcast that I was talking to somebody about change and embracing it and almost feeling that you can be resilient if you just say, yes, I'm going to go with the flow of it. But for a lot of people, the concept of AI is actually, I think, quite fearful and they feel quite threatened by it. Maybe that's a lack of understanding over the value and the benefits, but also, as we hear, and a lot of the media covers this, it is coming for my job. Do you see that playing out? Is that a thing that maybe yourself you're seeing that sort of more broadly, but at Microsoft, is that a consideration when we come to kind of adopting these services and emerging technologies?
Yeah, sure. First, to answer your question, how people see this, right? So, first thing is AI is not something which is going to take your job, or which is very hard to learn, so that's what Microsoft or any other AI providers, that's what their job is, right? They have to make it very easy and simple so that it can be adopted by so many peoples. And no, it just not restricted to one particular community. It is like for the broader across the world, like whatever the use case, whatever the things you have, you can adopt AI. So that's how it is going to be. And so it's for sure it's not going to take your job. And when you think AI is not complex, and AI is going to make your life easy. So first we have to believe that. So that's when we will get into AI. Knowing AI and latest upcoming capabilities, what different services AI providers do every week, right? So get yourself up to date, and you can read so many blogs or so many news which is readily freely available, right? You can go through them, and then you can read them. And so those will make you familiarize with all this AI things, so that you know what AI is. And after you know what AI is, then next step is going to be how you use AI, how you get yourself adapt. So I have been doing this job for so many months, right? So many years now, and I know how to do that job. So you're just doing that job, right? So with this, if you adopt AI, and that's going to finish this job in 5 to 10 minutes, and you can focus on the rest of other possibilities or other things which will make you really grow, or which will keep you young, actually, right? So doing the same thing again and again, it's not going to bring you anything new or anything. So you will, after when you start learning something new. So today you are starting something, you are hearing something on AI, in my podcast. So you came to know me, right? So you came to know me, you hear what I'm talking. So this is going to give you a way to learn more, keep yourself young, and then yeah, for sure, without AI, it's not going to. So the next couple of months, after you see next 6 to 8 months, you will see a lot of tools and a lot of things which will come for your use, for any of your use case, right? You can go ahead and make use of AI. So that's the future where we are going towards, and it's not late now. I would say go ahead and then start learning about AI, and then see what it can do for you, and I have to go from there.
Mm. I guess for some people, sort of hearing that, and I totally agree, Naveen, that if you have a vested interest in, kind of adopting it or exploring it, or maybe even piloting some of these emerging AI options or opportunities, then yeah, there's a commercial reason why you'd certainly want to do that. Are you seeing, and I guess I'm seeing this as an end user in some of the Microsoft products, things like obviously a lot of the AI kind of solutions and third party applications are coming through as a sort of a collaborative kind of offer within something like Teams, for example. I mean, there's a lot of Copilot, obviously, is an obvious one, but there's others as well that are kind of being, almost like as a sort of affiliate partners, or they seem to be embedded in existing software that a lot of us are using. Teams is probably the most familiar one for many people. Do you see that will be something that will make it a lot more familiar and kind of confidence building to us, rather than, oh, I've got to go and submit to that one, I've got to go and subscribe to that one, I've got to download that one, where they're all kind of all around the place? Whereas actually, if they're embedded into things that we know and understand, that familiarity is going to give us the confidence to maybe start experimenting with them.
Yeah, sure, definitely. So for someone like who is using Office 365 products, tool or set of tools, right? So for example, your Excel or your Word or your Teams. So Microsoft is what I can see from Microsoft, often new releases, right? From whatever I can see is like how I do this job, and how do I not put much effort to get into AI, right? So currently I use Teams. I don't want to do so. Last year, right? So you miss a meeting, you miss a meeting. That's it, right? I don't know how far meeting notes will give you the details. To be frank, so currently there is an important meeting going on, and that meeting is being recorded, and the transcript is readily available. So after this session with you, I can go and watch even in the evening, right? So even in the evening or even later night, whenever I feel or whenever I have time, I can go watch those transcripts and then see if there are any mentions for me, and if there are any places where I was called out, and if there are any action items for me, what I have to do. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to be in that meeting, right? I can totally spend something useful like this, and then I can go back whenever that's important for me. I can go back and check and then get details from it. So these are the new things we have to see from that perspective. It's not like having something that is available and that's going to be complex. If you stay away from it, it's going to be always complex, right? You start making use of it. Even the first time for me, it's very difficult. I don't know where will I go find a transcript, and what will people think if ask them to record a team meeting. So those days are now gone within my office, right? So I can ask anyone to record the meeting because I'm not available, I'm busy with something else, and they are going to record it and give it to me. And I got used to it, because the very first time is what the problem. So once I click and once I did that, when I got used to that, now without that I can't live, actually. So without Teams or without email, right? For example, your Outlook, and there is a Copilot for your Outlook or your emails, right? Where you can just open your Outlook and then you start typing it. You don't have to type it in a formal way. So uh, I don't know a person, or I don't know a manager or a CVP who is like 3, 4 levels above me. I don't know him, but I wanted to write an email to him. I'm not worried about what I have to write. I just say that, like, this is my content. Can you just, I'm sending it to this person. Can you make it uh, look like a professional email, which can really impress him? So it's going to give me in a minute. So to be frank, I'm not writing any emails these days. So everything I just say Copilot, and then it kind of forms the email, and it sends to the sender, and it's working very well for me. I have not seen any hallucinations or anything, because within this office and things like that, it's completely, there are a lot of guardrails put in place, and those days like where people worried about, and it's not like that today. So it 99.9% of my emails and my conversations with Outlook, whatever I have asked the Copilot, I have never seen any results that is not right, or which should not have been sent. And even though we are reviewing, right, before we are sending, we are going to review. So we take the responsibility of that as well, that piece. So to make sure that it is doing right. So we are the second eye or the third eye to that note. So yeah, that's how I see this.
So that's fascinating to just kind of have it at that sort of scale where you say actually I'm not originating any emails at all now, and it's kind of this is really my and in the truest sense my co-pilot, my concierge, my assistant, my agent. We're going to come on to agents in just a minute, but I think that's it. It's really interesting the way that you've described that, Naveen, because to me it feels then that what you're advocating is this balance between being up to date and actually proactively going and seeking what is happening, what's emerging, what are the new platforms, what is the new technology that I can play with, at the same time as actually watching what is already around you. Because I guess for most of us, we didn't go and learn Copilot, it was already embedded in the day to day. So are we kind of, I guess, agreeing here that part of the balance here is to think about your day-to-day activities, much as you've done with the emails, and say, look, there's a more efficient way. But actually that's about reflecting on your day-to-day life, as well as it is going out and looking at the new stuff, the tech that's coming in. Feels like it's a sort of a 50-50 split here. Is that the right kind of balance?
Yeah, yes. So what I would say is, even in my case, I would say like it's 10 and 90. So it's doing 90% of my job, and I am just doing only 10. There are days, Neil. So for if I have to send an email to someone, right? So who is like very higher level, and I used to spend around an hour, to be frank, around an hour to frame that email, and I do erase a lot of times and then go back and forth saying that okay, this is right, this word is right, if I put it this way this will be very helpful for me to grow, and so many other things, right, which is being taken care of me. Today I just spent only 2 minutes max to write that, draft that note. So yeah, what I would say is I have shifted all my responsibilities to that side, and then I'm focused more on my work and what I can do far better, right, to the community, and how can I give back to the community, like how I can make people. So Microsoft is not paying me to talk about AI or anything, so it's just my interest for people to know about AI and all this latest capabilities. What I'm getting zero benefit out of this, right, all my thing is I want to be very helpful to someone in the out there. So that's the reason.
It's just fascinating, isn't it, when you kind of take those few steps back and actually pause and think about this properly? Because it would be so easy, I guess, for somebody who isn't, let's call it technical, or somebody who isn't, sort of naturally they have a preference to be watching all the kind of emerging developments within this industry. But actually what they want is the commercial benefit. So it's just really interesting to think, well, okay, if you want the commercial benefit, you don't necessarily have to go all in learning it all, but you do need to think about your processes and your systems and actually what you do. Because if you don't have a deep understanding of that, how then are you going to select the right application or the right technology? It's almost like you've got to start from somewhere and go all in, haven't you, to make this thing work?
No, sorry, Steve, I didn't get the last piece. Sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're going to have to go all in on something to make this work. You either embrace all of the technologies and go practice and play with them, or you understand your own business intimately and then see the technologies that come in to solve particular problems or challenges. It's almost like you have to go in all in somewhere to make this work, don't you?
Yeah, yes, definitely, yes. So what I would say is, so I have, so this is my business, or first the use case, or the first the business, right? So this is what the business I'm doing, and how can I improve the business? So in that case, like what can I use and which tools can be helpful? For example, I was doing video editing for my Instagram. I just recently started my Instagram, like posting around AI, like how people can know AI, a lot of tools about AI. And I used to use different tools, and when I used Canva, or in the last time, last week, I used Canva, and I was very impressed. I told that like I wanted to post something about this, and then it created a content for me, and it did this for me, and it gave before I open Canva, I don't know all this is available in Canva. So I was just searching which product suits for this need. So I have a need. So this is my need. So I wanted to post an Instagram post which should bring a lot of views and a lot of audience, which should be very impressive and interactive to the users, right? So that's my ask, and it can give me the tool which is available. And that tool, when I go into it, was very impressed. I just gave a few lines of my content. It created a video, and it said like this is the audio which you can attach in the background, which will help you bring a lot of views to your okay. I said okay, go ahead, go, okay, 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 like I gave three okays, and my video is now ready. And when I just post, within like 1 or 2 days, I saw like 150, 300 views, and 4 or 500. It's keep on going. So that's how that's the reach what I have, right? So instead of that, if I just open the whole tool what I have in my desktop, I start recording, doing all the videos, spending around days to edit that video and then post it, and it's not getting that reach what I expect, basically. So that's how you wanted to approach. So first, think what you need, and based on that need, go look for something which is available. And you don't need any knowledge. I don't have any video editing or canvas or any knowledge, right? So I just search it, and then it gives me, and when I opened that, it said like there is a AI feature available, do you wanted to use that? Yes, I said yes, and then it helped me through this. So it's very user friendly. I didn't learn anything, right? I'm not expert. I don't know what is behind the scenes. What I want is this, and it gave me this. That's what it.
So we're kind of finding ourselves then migrating this conversation in towards this whole idea of agents, because what that example is clearly done for you then, Naveen, is it's solved a problem. It's actually given you an output. It was super efficient. You didn't actually need to know how it worked or what it was doing or why it was doing it, but it just worked. It's almost putting a trust into something that is an agent for you, isn't it? And this is the concept of AI agents. It's kind of giving them the permission to do what they are so much better at than we as mere humans are. Again, like you say, allowing then you to go off and do the things where you add the value. So can you describe for us, really, from your perspective, what an AI agent is and how we can start to think about where those might sit or fit within our businesses?
Okay, yeah, sure, definitely. So, A agent is something interesting, and it's not new. It's been around for more than 6 to 8 months now. It's actively around, and the latest uh, capabilities are coming out, which can be used in our real world applications. So that's how I see this AI agent. So far, you asked your GPT to a question, and then it used all this dimensional vectorization and those concepts which you might have already known. It uses all this, and it gives you back the result, and you are satisfied with it. So you ask a question to summarize your text, and you ask a question to do or analyze the trends, or summarize this, anything you ask it, it have been doing that. But this step with the AI agent is something task, right? You have those AI to do some task for you, some job for you. So that's how it makes your life easy. And currently I'm working on a project, so it's for my own interest project, and it's not something related to my job. So I can talk about that project. So it's very, very impressive. Like, you can see the world, how the AI is going to be. So it can help you design your own view of how you can use AI agent, right? So I'll give you one example, and then that help you navigate and then make more ideas, and then you can even start building your agent, maybe. So task in the sense, as I already mentioned, right? Do some work for me. So I wanted to do this, and so can I? I don't know how to do that. I don't wanted to invest my time to make it do that, but A agent is pre-built for that, right? For that purpose, so it can do so many other things in terms of agent. So as an agent, so there are different varieties of agents. So one is, I'll give you a few examples. One is conversable agent. Conversable agent is something where you can talk or it can talk to itself. So those kind of conversations, right? So that conversational conversable agents. Other one is uh, assistant agent. So assistant agent is something like your assistant, right? Go do this. For conversable agent, they like, think of that as an assistants to those conversational agent. So the conversational agents are talking something, and then they want some assistant, so they call this assistant agent, and then this assistant agent can do the actual work, and then they report back to me. So there are several frameworks available to automate this agent. So you don't have to worry about like putting in this agent, how this agent talk to each other, and what format can it talk to, and what other capabilities. So I wanted to talk to an LLM. So for example, if you wanted to talk to LLM, you write like 100 lines of code today, or 10, 15 lines of code, or at least 20 lines of code, in basic 20 lines of code to talk to an LLM. But that within just one line, it can call a LLM, and then it can get the details from you. So that is the conversable agent with LLM. So it can converse with LLM in a, everything is abstracted for you. You don't have to write anything. Everything will be taken care for you. So with all that together, can be put into a framework. So framework is going to do all this work for you. There are different types of frameworks that's available in the market. So one is what I call as autogen. So that's what I'm using. So it's powered by Microsoft. It's open source still, but it's coming from Microsoft. And the other one is Core AI, and looks like OpenAI just recently released FAM, I think so. I have not tested that, but that is also available. So using those frameworks, you can build like within 15-20 minutes, you can build a agent. So the use case what I'm working currently is, so you might have known, right? So if you are an industrialist, so if you are a tech person, you might have a cloud engineering team or your cloud operations team. So if there are any application outage, if you see your web app is down or something like that, and then you go to your cloud operations team and then see they have to go in, figure out what the problem is, and come back with the solution. So the SLA for that is going to be 4 to 8 hours. Sometimes depends on the criticality of the issues or the depth of the issue. But here, uh, it's all proactive. So we are going towards proactiveness. Your web app may not go down at all in future. So because there is a plug which is put into your monitor, and this is going to continuously monitor for errors, not just errors, warnings, or what can it happen. It can predict like how your system can be. It's going to be in next 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It can predict, and based on that, it can go act. If you want a new instance, or if there is a bug in the code which is going very which is eating all your memory, and that's bursting your application's memory, it can go figure that code. It can change the code, and it's not going to implement without your permission, right? It comes back to you, to your teams, and it asks for permission, like, I found this is the impact what it going to be. In next 1 hour your application is going to be down, and these many users will be impacted, and these are the problems. So with all this, it gives the details, and in the teams chat, you can say there will be two buttons. Should I go and do this, or no, I'll take action myself? So in those cases, if you are going to take action yourself, it can give you the list of steps what you can take first to save this from. Or if you wanted to do that, you can say yes, go ahead and do that. Before doing that, it just not blindly going to do that for you. Before doing that, it do a dry run and make sure whatever steps it's going to apply in your production infrastructure is good. Then it goes and apply to that. So this is just one use case what I'm going to solve. There are several use cases what I have planned, and so if I just solve this use case, this is going to benefit so many people or so many applications out there, critical applications out there in the industry right now. So which will solve all the problems. And the next use case is the several use cases. If I go in depth of each and every use case what I have planned for next 2 months, it's very difficult to cover in this one podcast. So this is just one sample, and you can think from using this example. You can think from your perspective, how you can use AI agents and where you can use AI agents, be it your applications or be it in your marketing job, right? It can create content for marketing, and it can even vet the content, like how this reach can be, how this content can help your product reach the market, right? It can give you the sales pitch, like how this is going to be pitched if you use this. So it can be used in several ways, but it is improving. I think I heard a pre-built agent for sales is available, but I'm not 100% sure. I've not tested that, but you can go check the Microsoft application. Like I recently heard in one of the forums that too from UK. So yeah, go ahead and check that, and I think there is one available for sales as well.
So exciting, isn't it? When you think about this from the way you've described it there with those examples, is that there's a strategic element here, that kind of forecasting, planning, preempting, building resilience and contingency even before it's happened using an agent, as well as some of the more reactive tactical stuff. There's an agent for everything is basically, I think, what you're sort of suggesting here. And is so from a practical sense then, would a CMO or a business owner really be starting off well and sensibly by really thinking about where are the biggest challenges, or where are the weaknesses, or where are the opportunities that are most significantly impacting our business right now? Because if you could get an agent to solve those, that's got to be the best idea, hasn't it? Really start where the biggest impacts are going to be made, because often within tech it's suggested that you start, do a little pilot study with something that's not really going to impact your business, but just to be safe. But here it feels like this is a whole new kind of way of approaching it. Is go after the big stuff, because AI can solve this for you through agents. I mean, would you say begin with the most significant things?
Yeah. So what I would say is agents. Agents are not. It's currently I see agents as a little bit difficult to adopt, but maybe if you see in future, right? So I just recently heard that news. So these are the results from Harvard and MIT. So many CXOs, CTOs, CFOs are exploring agents. Around 60 to 70% of CTOs, CFOs are exploring agents, like how agents can solve their business problem. And if you are not one of that, you have to. So this is the right time for you. So go ahead, explore what is agent and how agent can explore. I already gave some glimpse of what is agent. So you go ahead and explore how it solves your business use case. So be it a bigger problem or be it a smaller problem, start with a smaller problem. Like day to day I have been doing this. For example, start with your employee onboarding. So that may be the good use case where agent can be, right? Today you are now going through several stages, like starting from enrolling into your active directory and taking them to the next step, and provisioning them, giving them a machine, sending them a machine to their home, and making sure they enroll that machine into your they are connected to your enterprise network, right? So you can, that's a sequential pattern. So there are several patterns in agents. So when you get into agents, so when you start hearing more about, if I talk about agent, there are a lot of specifics what you have to know. So there are conversations. So this is the sequential pattern. So you can, using this sequential pattern is very easy. That's a pattern which came out very fast, right? So that, use that pattern and then try to automate this complete process, which kinds of take you that fear away from you, right? Whether you have onboarded this person, right? Does this person has right level of access to this resources what I have in my organization? So those things can be taken care by AI agent. AI agent can itself think like this resource is working on something, and this needs this level of access, and that is that privileged or is that common access what can be granted. So it can automatically send that request to you, and once you approve, it's going to save the time how long a resource in your organization is waiting to get access to a simple tool like ServiceNow or anything. So it can take all those off from your plate, so that he can be more productive. So start from this angle, and then you can start implementing. So once you implement for one use case, that will give you lot and lot many ideas, which where you can, what I heard is in next a year or two, we are not going to have applications, right? Like today you have web app, API app, and you have different applications, right? There is going to be a app as well added to that. So be prepared now, and then so you can win that battle, and then you can stand out in the market. So if you are, so I have already seen a lot of people, they have infused AI in their chatbot or using RAG or anything, which are like very old now. So they have already infused AI and they are standing out in the market when compared to their competitors. Right? So AI agents can definitely help you save a lot of money as well as be more reliable, secure, and whatnot. All right. So it can do so many other things.
I think, that's just such important advice, Naveen, that you're saying there, that, this is kind of future proofing anybody in business right now. It doesn't matter what role, whichever department or whatever discipline, there's something in here that you're going to have to take seriously, because if you don't, the competition will. And I think this whole idea of kind of process mapping, knowing your systems, knowing the procedures within your business. And some businesses obviously are very, very good at this, and particularly those that manufacture things. I mean, traditionally and historically, they have very, very robust processes because they have to, because they're making stuff. But certainly a lot of service businesses where a procedure or a system would be probably at the very best would be mapping out the basics of a customer journey, for example, so you can run campaigns. That doesn't go very deep. So for those kinds of businesses, they're going to have to really think this through, aren't they? And spend some real quality time doing the process mapping to identify where these kinds of architectures or technologies can plug in. Because without that kind of internal knowledge, you're just playing at it, aren't you, really? So this is a real kind of proper strategic exercise you have to go through. Are you kind of recommending that people really do sit down and take this seriously now?
Yeah, yes, definitely. Yes. So even for this marketing component, right? So I faced one of my colleague who worked with me like 3 4 months, 3 4 years back, and we were talking about AI, and he's into marketing, and suddenly one day he came to me like, I've been doing all this, but I'm not getting any reach at all for my product, right? He's something kind of a mainframe to a kind of a product what he's using, and that product is not getting reached. So today you have your mainframe, and people are having a lot of problems with mainframe and how they can seamlessly convert their mainframe into cloud, something like that he was talking about, and he was not able to reach the larger audience or the larger CEOs like who run a lot of mainframe workloads, right? So uh, we then sat and then we came up with an idea, and then the marketing content, like how we can reach out to a lot of folks in LinkedIn, and he did that, and I think he got a reach from somewhere from Norway, I think so, and he was called to from India. He was called to do a demo in Norway, and with free tickets and everything. So he went, showcased his product, and his product got a good reach in the state government, I believe. So they now started thinking and then implementing this product. So this product is just built in a small village in India, and he's using this technology and these things to reach this level, right? So if if he was quiet and if he's not using agents, all behind everything is behind his agents. The agent is the one which is helping him do all this reach, so make his product and what this customer needs, right? This agents can tune this product to meet the needs of customer, and within a week he can make this product more adaptable for this customer, right? So that's the beauty of agent. So he's now working in Norway. So I didn't believe when he said that. So
That's
yeah.
incredible, isn't it? Like you say, that, yeah, just a pure human alone trying to do that. I mean, one, you'd never think of that as a destination that you're going to be selling into. Two, you just wouldn't have the nuances of what those customers or that region needs.
Mhm.
And this is all doing it literally within a fraction of a second, isn't it? This is the incredible power of it. I mean, when you stop and think, it is so awe-inspiring and breathtaking how clever this is going to become,
Mhm.
as long as we mere humans actually take it seriously. Because I think from our conversation here, Naveen, what I'm taking away is the fact that this is about properly paying attention. It isn't about thinking it's business as usual. And yeah, there's that AI thing on the periphery. And if I listen, it's okay. This is about actually doing things seriously and properly and saying, it's here, we can do this, but there are some steps that we need to take. And it's about really taking it seriously, isn't it? I think for me, this is the crux of this conversation is everybody now has to wake up and really leverage this opportunity. And I love that example. I mean, what would be your kind of, if we were to sort of conclude on, say, one next step? So we have a business owner or a marketer who thinks, okay, Naveen is talking a lot of sense here. What do I do next? So after listening to this, and obviously apart from connecting and following you, Naveen, we'll assume that they've done that, and we'll introduce that a little bit in a second. But what would be their next step practically to begin this journey?
Yeah, so practically to begin this journey, what I would say is here a lot of new or upcoming or latest capabilities, which is available to everyone, right? It's not just me. Since I work for Microsoft, I don't. It's not like I'm privileged to know all this happening and what this is the roadmap. I don't have any other information. I'm like you, like doing just for me the work, right? So I how I learned all this, it's nothing from internal sources. So it's all, which is all available out there for public. So you can go through that and make sure you are up to date. And today it's agent, right? Tomorrow it can be something bigger than agent. So keep yourself updated with all this. Subscribe to all these newsletters and things like that, which is readily available around agents or AI or anything. Keep that, have that knowledge, and that will definitely help you achieve more in AI. And if you wanted, you can follow. I write my AI blog, so it's AI with Naveen Krishnan. You can also follow my blog, and whatever latest happenings or upcoming things, I do write my blog. So be it voice rag or you have been doing rags with your data, right? People used to ping you, and now it's all voice. So the new real time model which has this capability. So I just wrote a blog which got a good reach actually, which I didn't expect. So within a day I got like 1.5K views. So people are interested and people are viewing these types of things. It's very great for creators like us to uh, get more product which is right and helpful and make the people betterment of the people. We are creating something, and if that's getting a good reach, then it's very uh, it's a very nice feel for us. So please continuously follow us or follow Neil. So Neil, kind of, so this is the first podcast where I see someone like who is very updated in technology, who knows a lot about AI and a lot of things going on AI. So follow these types of podcasts and always hear. It's just a matter of minutes, like when you're driving to office or somewhere, hear this news, and then so you can go back and then explore in your spare time where you can spend on AI and then see what I would say is I've already seen my managers and everybody started following this. They spend a dedicated 2 to 3 hours in a day to learn about AI and or explore AI, do hands-on stuffs around AI. So for start following this approach, and that will definitely help you in the long run.
So the more you put in, everybody, Naveen's guidance and recommendation is the more you're going to get out. So you have a choice listening to this. You can choose to think it's going to go away and it'll never catch on. And of course, there will always be the people who don't believe in this. But those of you who do, I think you've just now heard the guidance, which is take this seriously, start today, follow Naveen, and we'll put your blog connection and link there in the description so everybody can literally just click and follow to stay up to date and in tune with this. Naveen, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for kind of guiding us on the route to our next steps here, and I wish you every success with your blog as well.
Sure, definitely. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone.